Hello, namaste. How are you? Today for yoga, it's about an hour to maybe a little bit longer than that. You'll need a yoga block if you have one. Yeah, so I'm gonna let you grab that yoga block, water maybe even, and we'll get comfortable and we'll get started shortly. Um, I'll get you centered. I'm gonna come back a little bit so you can see me a little better. Well, hello, namaste. So here we are. Here's a yoga block that you might, if you can grab one. Um, Welcome to yoga class. So I'm going to say, hey, how are you guys? I feel like I'm too far away. I'm going to be closer to the screen and then I'll come back. All right. So if you're just arriving, you're gathering your things, your yoga block, your mat, your water. I'll do that. And then once you're seated, take your time to get there. I'm going to take a nice seat. Okay. And you might manually want to help your inner thighs to roll in back and apart a little bit, just to broaden your seat itself. And just take a moment here to arrive in your body to this beautiful gift, which is you. Yeah. From your most periphery to your fingertips, your head, your toes, we hug into the self. You did a wonderful job at rolling the inner thighs. And if you haven't done that, you can do that now, rolling the inner thighs and broadening your seat laterally to the right and to the left. And then from there, lengthen your tailbone down. Feel that power in your belly and your core strength. So it's that ever narrowing down from your waistline down. Good. And then from your seat, from your pelvis that we were just talking about, you then just sink into the earth in the seat. You just know. Well, what do you know? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk a little bit about free will. And some of this stuff, I know many of you already know a lot about, manifesting. I'm going to come a little closer for the talking part. But a lot of you know a lot about all of that stuff. So I do realize this might be a review. For some of you, this might not be something that you're interested in. And that's totally cool too. But we're talking about free will today. And that always gets me excited because um, we're co-creators in this beautiful life that we have, right? We get to show up and shine our light and add to the conversation. Before you even came here, you sat down, right? So when you are a spirit, you're like before you came into this, this body, which is your home, right? This, you can call it like a meat suit, right? But this home that you're in, you sat down with a spirit team, some of your spirit guides, but also could be one or two or more people, could even be a council depending on, who you're working for and what it is that you're accomplishing. But you decided, like, what did you need to learn? And Earth is very much like an Earth school. Like, this is where we come to learn. It's like graduation day because it has polarity, right? So there's the light and then there's the dark, right? And I don't really like to explain it as good and bad, but there's like a varying degrees of that. There's a lot of gray area, right, to embrace within that too. But it's all experience. It's to allow us to have more of those moments of like, oh, okay, I get it now, and we just learn that as we go along. Okay, so we also so it makes me excited, but you get to like select your parents, the people, your friends, your spouse or not a spouse, children, no children, and you can even change your contracts throughout your life as well. So it's not, you can change it even though it was written before you came and you decided on it, you signed off on it, but you can change as well. You can decide and choose differently. And again, I don't want to say choose better, but you can choose differently as you evolve. And so mote it be, right? You're like, you're doing it. We just want to remember that not everything is all unicorns and rainbows too. And yeah, some of it's kind of hard. It's earth school, right? Not everything in school, not every subject we're like super, excited about. Sometimes the school day can be quite long, right? The school day could be quite long and exhausting. So these are just things to think about. But you need to allow yourself to co-create the experience, this polarity of earth. So you need to allow yourself to have that experience too. So use that strength. I'm going to talk about like using our muscles in our practice to hold us in the highest, to hug into the self, to love ourselves too, right? That's power is love, but to use our muscles to have a form of integrity. So then we can continue to stay, even though, as we know, like we just said, there's polarity, and it's like sometimes it's like a roller coaster ride, right? It's like there's a lot of ups and downs, and that those are the ups and downs that are life lessons. So we can keep learning. So, all right. Some vocabulary words. Polarity, we just talked about it. It's the state of having two opposites, dark, light. Laterally, it's like a side, the right side, the left side, also explained as sidelong, right? So just if I use that terminology to explain the pelvis, it's just broadening from right to left. Okay. So hopefully those things will help you as we get more centered. All right, so let's come back to that seat. And we'll just do some, if you need to sit on your block, if that helps, you can do that. It helps again to broaden your inner thighs in, back and apart. And we'll just take a moment here in your seat to arrive, right? To arrive, to say yes to yourself today. To arrive in your seat of your co-creatorship. It's so exciting, right? And that you get to learn all these beautiful life lessons along the way. And as you open up and you say yes, then from the most expansive part of ourselves, we hug in, right? So there's a spine right here, and we just hug our right hemisphere and left hemisphere together. And we bring our head in. And we allow everything to pool down into the pelvis. That helps. You can run your inner thighs in, back, and apart, and lengthen your tailbone just enough. And from the space of all this power that's strength that's pouring into your pelvis, you extend back out and you get brighter. You may even get broader laterally through your pelvis, through your knees, through your shoulders, your right shoulder, your left shoulder, to the top of the head. Eyes can be open or closed. We're going to do a few rounds of breath together. Take a deep breath in, breathe all the way down to the bottom of the belly, to the mid lungs, all the way up to the collarbones. And then you feel free to side out your mouth with a again, breathe into the back plane of the body, to the front plane of the body. All the breath in. And then feel free to sigh it out of your mouth, releasing breath out. A nice way to check in, to hit that reset button as you let it go. Good, good. And this time as you breathe in, breathing from the right to the left hemisphere of the body. As you breathe in and you expand the beautiful lungs from the bottom to the top of the lung, from the front back to the back plane, to the right, to the left, to the left, to the right, and then let it all go, let it all out. If the eyes closed or the eyes gazed at one point, we'll start our Ujjayi breath through the nostrils. Ever so slight restriction of the glottis at the back of the throat as you breathe in. And then with the mouth closed, as long as the nasal passages are open, and then out of the nostrils. And breathe in through the nostrils, past the throat. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And just a few more rounds like that. And bring your hands together before your heart, inviting in your heart's intention. And it could be just this, that acknowledging our co-creatorship, this idea of free will, knowing that we can choose again. And as I tell my daughters all the time, right, they have this thing where they'll say, today is the worst day. And they heard that of all things in a children's cartoon. And I say to them, if that's what you believe, then it is, but you can also believe it's the best day ever, right? So we have free will and we can learn about free will at very young ages. Anything else you'd like to offer up? You have so much power, so much strength in you. You're gonna recognize that, celebrate it. And then as we get strong and we celebrate all that, we allow things to happen and to come to us. One Om, and then we'll go into the invocation for Anusara. If that is not for you to enjoy, you can just listen. So here we go. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchitananda Motaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralamaya Tejase. Om. When you're ready, if you have your legs crossed, you might want to just change the way the legs are crossed, putting the opposite leg in front. And inhale, reach up, get really tall. On your exhale, the right hand comes down, reach up and over with your left arm for a side bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Exhale, side. Few more times, still warming up. Okay, one more round as you continue to say yes to what it is. Right? Even the hard stuff that you decided you needed to learn one more time, right? Like you have to, like, sometimes it feels that way in life. It's like, really? This again? And that's a theme, right? That's a theme that you're experiencing. That's something that you really need to learn. All right, we're gonna come to tabletop. So FYI, my dog is outside. He'll want to come inside soon. All right. All right. So we're going to come to tabletop. We're going to warm up a little bit here to continue to warm up. Toes can be tucked under. Bring the toenail bed of the feet flat. Wrist and shoulders line up. Inhale, the crown of the head, the tailbone lifts. Exhale, round through the spine. Just like a Halloween cat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. You're going to match the movement with breath as you continue to warm up. And one more. Round through. Like that. And then find your way to a neutral spine, neither rounding nor lifting. Good. Walk your knees back, and it could be about 2 inches away from the heel of your hand. So it's kind of like a knee down plank, if you will. Good. And lift your seat up and back, down dog. Bend one knee and then the other. Continuing to warm up. So you get into like this is a pretty big, expansive shape, right? So as we do that, remind the body to hug in, as if you're just drawing your limbs of your legs and your arms all the way into the heart, right? To protect your body. Skin to muscle, muscle to bone. You're gonna tip those feet up to the hands and fold forward. Good. And then very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, come all the way up to stand. And you can reach your arms up nice and high. Settle the hands before the heart. I'm just gonna scooch back just a smidge. Like I did set myself up. There we go, that's much better. All right. Hands to the heart center, standing in your Tadasana, either with the hands at your heart or arms by the side. And take a moment here just to breathe in and arrive in your life, right? Arrive in this big adventure that you've chosen. Firm and tone the legs all the way up into the pelvis. And then broaden the inner thighs back and apart.
Those inner thighs go in, back, and apart. I'm actually going to do this. We're going to grab your block, and this kind of helps you a little bit, either up here or between the shins. As you hug, right, leg into leg, you can feel the muscles in the inner thighs a little more. And it's like your legs become like a Pez dispenser. And the block goes back in space, right? So those inner thighs go in, back, and apart. Keep that, and then lengthen the tailbone, right? So I'm going to turn sideways for this. So when you draw those inner thighs in, back, and apart, the booty might go back a little bit as your sit bones broaden out, right and left. And then keep that, but then lengthen the tailbone down. And then you notice your shoulders are above your hips once again, and hips are above the knees, and knees are above the ankles. So we're just going to bring the block down to the side now. But you can still imagine that you have that block there. And then from your pelvis, extend down into the earth. And it's very much like this is like this pelvis area is like, it's our focal point where all this energy is pulling into, right? From the earth all the way up to the pelvis. And then from the pelvis, like a springboard, back down and then up and then out. So everything broadens. Even right shoulder goes more right, left shoulder goes more left. Core is strong, of course. Good. Exhale, arms down by the side. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, sweep the arms up, big stretch here. Exhale, fold forward and empty. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, look forward. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back. Good. And if your knee is a-okay, you could lower your right knee down. Good. Nice. Hands can come back. You can use your block or blocks for your hands if you need more space. Yep, and we're just doing a little runner's lunge, still warming up. Hands might catch the top of the thigh. Inhale, sweep the arms up, big stretch. Right? If reaching the arms up does not feel good, the hands can stay on your yoga blocks. Or you can stay on the inside of the leg or the front thigh. So lots of options here. Yeah, continue to hug the back leg to the front leg to the back leg. All the energy into the pelvis, and from the pelvis down and out and up and out. Up and out through the fingertips. Our hands come down, down, up. Full breath in. Big breath out. A few more like that. So good. Good. I'm going to look forward at your right thumb. Right foot steps forward. Lower your left knee down. If your knee allows, if not, you can stay more upright. You can find your block or blocks. And perhaps the hands come to the top of the thigh. You can stay to the inside of the leg. And you scissor your legs towards one another from front to back leg and from right to left. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. So still warming up even here. And any of those options we talked about are okay. So you continue to reach up. And even here, you can have a tone a bit of the feet down or have those back toes tucked if that helps you. Maybe the head goes back a little more, the occiput at the back of the head goes back. The sternum lifts, hands come down. Now step forward and fold. Good, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up to stand, big stretch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, fold. Good job. Step your left foot back. Lower your knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up, or any of those variations. But exhale, the hands come down. We're just going to move a little faster, warming up. Down dog. It's a full breath in, a full breath out. Good. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up to stand. Reach up tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a deep breath in. A deep breath out. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot way back. Lower the right knee down. Inhale, sweep up, full breath in. full breath out. Hands come down, frame the front foot, down dog. Good, so you can keep out the high plank to low, the Chaturanga Dandasanas on your next knee, so you can stay here, child's pose. Child pose looks like this. The knees go wide, the big toes touch. And slide your hips back. Make sure if you're avoiding any weight bearing on your hands or your shoulders or your wrists, you can skip this part, inhale the high plank. I'm gonna modify on my knees, but see how my gaze still stays slightly forward. My head is in line with my spine, and it's gonna stay that way as I lower all the way down to my belly. The head didn't lead the way, right? It stayed in line, and I stayed in contact with my core muscles. So I'm gonna switch back a little bit. You may do the same. Offer your forehead down for a moment and take a little rest with your forehead down. Good, good. Nice. So still stay strong in your center and your core, navel towards the spine, the tailbone lengthens. As the tailbone lengthens, that's going to protect your low back. And inhale and start to curl your heart up, right? And this might be too high. You might be right here. I have friends that are just hand on top of the other, and that is their up dog. Maybe with any cervical issues or thoracic or lumbar spinal issues, you might do that, right? So curl up to your low cobra. In this variation, the pelvis is down. We'll get a little warmer. We might actually have the pelvis up. Tuck the toes under, down dog. Lift up and back. Full breath in. Full breath out. And we'll look at your left thumb. Left foot steps forward. Inhale and curl up and back. Good. Exhale, step forward and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. Big stretch here. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a full breath in. Back of body, front of body, right, left, bottom to top. Exhale, arms down by the side. Inhale, sweep up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good. Step your left foot back. Inhale. This is our last doing knee down to the asana. Hands come down, down dog, down doggy dog. Inhale the high plank. Exhale to low. Inhale cobra, or as you know it, big up dog, right? So for this, I don't know if you can see on the angle, but my hips are lifted, my quads are quite large, but they were actually lifted for a moment there. You know, and then down dog. But you can always lower. You're gonna do that again. High plank. You can always modify in your knees, and then slowly lower down, and then lift up. So always know you don't have to do anything else that anyone else is doing. Urdhva Mukha. Downward facing dog. Nice job. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Full breath in and full breath out. Nice. All right. I'm going to tiptoe those feet up to the hands and then slowly come on up to stand once more. Nice job. All right, I'm going to take a wide-legged pose, and we'll go ahead and bring the right foot out. I'm just going to grab my glasses. It's funny, I can't really see the screen. I just want to make sure you guys can see me in the full screen. Okay. I know, right? All right, so take a wide stance. Right toes are directly forward to the front of your mat, and your left foot is facing towards the side of the room. Yeah. Yeah. So you're gonna take a wide stance. How wide? Ideally, maybe one day your wrist will have a string and it'll hit your ankles. It might be shorter. It could be a shorter stance than that. Good. Bend into your right knee. Virdrasana 2. Warrior 2. Beautiful. Yeah, really take up some space here. The more expansive that we're getting now, with the feet wider apart, with the arms wider apart, the more that we have to remember, right, to first, to open up to the difficulty, right? How
Even though, yeah, it's so great. It is. It's beautiful out today. Oh, I think it's gonna rain, but it is beautiful. It's sunny, right? Yeah. So even though there's storm clouds in the sky, it's also really beautiful out, and that's the polarity. And the more that we do that, we have to first remember that we need to say yes, right? And then secondly, we have to, from the periphery to the core, we hug to the stop, we get strong. We get really strong so we can enjoy all of the flavors that life has to offer. That's free will, right? You can choose your own adventure. You can, is this the best day, as I explained to my daughters? You get to choose. You can say that it is. We're gonna flip that front palm, reach up, reach back, and just enjoy this peaceful warrior for a few more breaths. This is my cat 11. She's very yoga-y. She's been napping all day because she likes to terrorize us at night. She loves to lick your eyebrows. I know, right? All right, and we're gonna come out of that. I'm gonna straighten your front leg, dial your right toes in. So pretty much the pinky toe edge of your right foot is parallel with that. I call it the short edge of your mat. The left toes will go out. Virdrasana 2 on the other side, the second side, as you reach your arms out. Good. Bend into your left knee. So I'm getting super expansive, right, in these shapes. And first we say yes, then we hug in, even here the inner thighs go in, back and apart. The tailbone lengthens, right? So you have that core strength. And from the pelvis, everything pulls into this beautiful pelvic area because we're standing on 2 feet and that's what's most weight bearing. We hug skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Our torso shortens into the pelvis, even our neck shortens into it. And then from the pelvis, we extend back out, deep celebration, right? That we did it. We wrote our contracts, we came here, we spirited into a human body and we get to celebrate it. We do fun things, we eat chocolate sometimes, if you like chocolate. We cry sometimes, we need to have a good cry. We heal, we laugh. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Yeah. Nice, and then straighten the front leg. Beautiful. I'm going to dial all of your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Inhale, lift up through the heart, reach up. Exhale, fold forward, fold in half. Bring the hands down, walk the hands through. You can maybe even walk the hands to be in line with your toes. Your knees can be as bent or as straight as they need to be. And your feet can even come in a little closer if this feels too expansive for you. So this would be another shape to remember. You remember your strength. Remember that your legs, right? It's like you have stockings on your legs, skin to muscle, muscle to bone, and you use your leg strength as you hug in. And then from all that power and that strength that you pull into the pelvis area, you then extend back down into the earth. In this earth right here that we're standing on, that we're like moving through the universe with access, right? All you have to do is ask, and Gaia will be there for you. You always want to give her gratitude, though. We just had Earth Day. Today is the 24th of April. You're just watching this. You're going to bend the knees, hands to the top of the thigh, slowly come up, right? So just acknowledging all the beauty that she has for us, this beautiful earth. We're going to go back to that first side. The right toes will dial out. Oh, and this is where you might want your block again, right? So I'm going to bring it to my right hand. You don't have to use it though. Right toes go out, the left toes face directly forward in space. You can go shorter with your legs as well, okay? Good, and we're just gonna go right into this Trikonasana triangle pose. The right arm comes down, left arm goes up. My right hand, I think you can kind of see it. Tried to wear like bright pants today that were also somewhat based on the earth. I don't know if you can see this part's the sky. This is the, I believe Colorado. I believe it's in Colorado or Arizona, I'm not sure. And then reach the left arm up. The block is behind my right leg. Can you see it right here? I'm hitting my calf muscle with it. Some people might have to put the hand inside the leg. And that is okay. Or you can have your fingertips down to your mat. The left arm goes up, the head goes back. Yeah. So soften and remember that you chose to be here today to allow yourself, right, to expand. You chose the expansion or the possibility to allow. And then, like you have energy stockings on your legs, you tone your standing legs into the pelvis. Expand your seat laterally. So this is where you might come a little forward with our hands to come out of the pose. We draw the inner thighs in, back, and apart. The sit bones expand. And then keep that. Lengthen your tailbone towards the floor. And just like a transformer, come back up into the pose. Yeah. You lengthen the tailbone for stability and strength, like core power, core strength. From the pelvis, extend down into the earth. Yeah. And we're gonna come all the way up. Bring your block with you. We're just gonna go right into the other side. I'm gonna add on to this idea. So the right toes will go forward. Left toes go to that short edge of your mat. You got it. Stretch the arms out from the shoulders. I take up some space. Left arm comes down, right arm goes high. Nice. Yeah, and then everything's super strong, right? First we say yes. You say yes to what is, to the difficulties that is Trikonasana, that is triangle pose, because it is hard, right? It is a hard one. It is a big, expansive shape. So first we say yes. We said yes, and we want to allow this beautiful experience of you to keep unfolding. And then we also hug. We remember to hug from the fingertips to the head, everything into the pelvis. We keep that, and then we might want to come out of the pose a little bit, like in a little mini forward fold. And you can use your yoga block for that, or your hands on the floor. As you do that, the front knee might bend, and that's your left knee. You extend your seat, your sit bones back in space, your inner thighs broaden laterally. They go in, back, and apart. Good. Keep that, but then lengthen your tailbone towards the earth. And as you do that, as you lengthen your tailbone towards the earth, you both stay broad in your low back. So there's freedom in your low back, right? We have free will. We have freedom in our low back, but we still have that lengthening. And that power in the belly, the tailbone. So we have strength, expansion, and strength at the same time. We have that willingness to allow, but it's always anchored in strength. From your pelvis, extend down through the lengths of the legs. Supercharge the energy from the legs all the way up to the pelvis and down into the earth and back out and up through the fingertips. The crown of the head goes more forward. Lean just back a little bit, right? The head goes back just a little. For some of us, you might already be there. Good. Maybe perhaps a little micro bend in your left, and you know, come all the way up. We're gonna go back to that first side. Back to your first side. Now you can stay with triangle pose. If you're building triangle pose into Ardha Chandrasana half moon, we're gonna work on that, okay? So just now, so you might wanna come a little close and watch how I'm going from triangle pose into half moon or Ardha Chandrasana. So here we go. So first, as we just did, and I'm gonna use my block for this. You don't have to use a block, but it kind of helps. So here we go. Left hand to the left hip. Then I bend into my right knee. How far forward does my hand go or my block go? And it's pretty much underneath my shoulder. I'm gonna flex my left foot like crazy as if I have a sneaker on my foot. And you can even use a wall. If you have a wall at home that doesn't have a picture on it, compress your foot to your left foot into a wall. If we were in class together, I would even possibly walk around and put my hip right here to your foot so you could feel that support. And then perhaps that left arm goes high and perhaps the gaze goes up nice and high, right? And even here, those inner thighs are going in, back, and apart. There's expansion in the back, right? We want to make sure that we're not pressing the pelvis way forward, but the inner thighs go in, back, and apart. The tailbone lengthens, the core is super strong. So I came out of it. Let's do that again. Let's do that together. So you need to go back to your mat with or without a block. If your arm length is challenged, like my arms are, if you have a long torso and short arms, find a block to help you. All right. Or a big water bottle. I sometimes use my water bottle. We'll do the right side. So even if you kind of did it with me, I'm still doing the right side. I'm going to do the left side soon. All right. So we'll go right into triangle pose. We'll explore it for a few breaths. You've been here before. Top hand comes down to your hip. That just why does that help? It helps us to know where we're gonna lift from later. We're gonna lift from here, this whole area. Bend into your right knee. How far forward? You can adjust this as you get there. Pretty much so then your wrist and your shoulder align. And that could be different for everyone's body because we're all unique, right? We're all here to celebrate the gifts that we have to explore. That's part of our free will, right? You can totally be a rebel, right? And shine brightly. You can not conform because you have free will. You can decide to not be part of some of that matrix stuff. You might have to play a little bit, play the game a little bit to put food on the table as I wobble wobble. Good. Bend into your right knee, then come all the way up. But you can still play with that because you have free will. It can be a good day, even when it's cloudy, because it started as a good day and it's sunny here, very cloudy over here. It's still a good day because I want it to be a good day because I'm here. I'm doing yoga and it's wonderful. Stretch your arms out. Left foot goes forward, the right toe square forward in space. Trikonasana, triangle pose, just to start. Full breath in and out. So just open up and say yes. Right hand finds the right hip, micro bend into your left knee. Start to float and fly as you find your left hand pretty much underneath your left shoulder. You can always make those adjustments while you're there. Flex your right toes towards your nose. Flex your right toes like crazy, like you have a sneaker on your foot. Right arm can go high. Perhaps the gaze goes high. And yeah, so like the stocking legs, right? It's like skin to muscle, muscle to bone. The legs are so strong. You're so strong from your knee to your pelvis. Your quads are so strong that they become a little bit weightless as you lift up, right? Your booty muscles engage, skin to muscle, muscle to bone. To hold you in space here, as you're, this is a challenging pose. And of course, you can always stay in that Trikonasana triangle. You say yes, you hug from the periphery of the fingers, the toes, the legs, everything into the pelvis. The inner thighs go in, back, and apart. You lengthen the tailbone through the ends of the feet. From your pelvis, you extend down into the earth and up and out. You get broader, you get bigger, you get lighter. Might even smile. Like you're bending your left knee. Come on up. Nice job. I know. Fantastic. Tree pose. Tree pose. At the top of the mat. I'm going to come up here. I'll still face you. All right. Take time to just notice the quality of your breath. And it's like that for the front plane of the body, the back plane of the body, the right side, the left side. From the bottom of the breath all the way up to the collarbones. Just notice your breath for a moment. Perhaps right hand to your solar plexus, your belly, left hand to your heart. Eyes can be open or closed. And just allow yourself to notice what you notice as you experience the polarity of the light and the dark that's all around us all the time, and that gray area we talked about too. Know that also within all that light, like after it rains, as it might do soon, that there could be beautiful colors like rainbows or flowers that are blooming. There's so many flowers blooming right now. All different colors. So varied, so different from one another, but still they're all flowers. Just like you and I. We have that free will to express our lives in all the many ways, all in very, very, very varied ways. It's like a tongue twister. Enjoy a few more breaths here. All right. So just arriving really full into your feet. We'll start on the left foot. We'll trace this with you, okay? From your left foot, the big toe mound to the inner heel, the pinky toe mound to the outer heel, my flat
footed friends such as I am, this helps us, right? That arch in the foot, when we make that arch, that helps us to stay steady and strong. Think about every, let me just talk about strength. Think about every building, that was ever built has a big archway, right? That's still around. That's what we're talking about. So strong foundation, like stockings on our legs, right? It's like super energy stockings up into the pelvis. The inner thighs even here, you know, in, back, and apart. So you might bring your booty back a little bit, your cupcakes, right? Go in, back, and apart. You lengthen the tailbone a lot, right? Or just enough. The right foot comes in. It could be the inner thigh today. It might be below the knee to the calf, or it might be kickstand. But any of those variations, it's the foot into the leg and leg into the foot. It's that giving and receiving. Hands can go to heart center or reach the arms up. And you can continue that shape. Firm and tone the standing leg. And draw the inner thigh. Oh, we did all of that. Oh, from the pelvis. We did all of those things. From the pelvis, extend back down to the earth. I have little notes, I remember. And exhale, arms down by the side, release that foot. We'll trace the same four corners. The right big toe mound. And if you did right last time, no worries, you'll just do the opposite side. Right big toe mound to the inner heel. The pinky toe mound to the outer heel. And just feel that arch in the foot lift and rise. Right? Skin the muscle, muscle the bone. Hugging the leg bones up into the pelvis. Those inner thighs, you might even bring your booty out a little bit. Those inner thighs go in, back, and apart. Like you have your Pez dispenser, your block there. And then you lengthen the tailbone. And that's power in your belly too, right? When you lengthen, that's your Uddiyana Bandha. It's the inner thighs in, back, and apart. Ever narrowing of the pelvis down. That's what helps that there. Left foot or opposite foot comes into the inner thigh. Right? Just above or below the knee, or to the calf right here, or a little kickstand right here. Reach the arms up. Okay, and from your pelvis, once you have all of those things from your pelvis, you ground down into the earth. You ground down and out and then up like a springboard, up from the earth to the pelvis, down to the earth once more, and then up and out. Maybe your head goes back a little. You got it, nice. Hands to heart center. Release your foot down. Maybe you can shake it out a little bit. Tree pose. I'll get a little closer so you can see my clouds and my pants. And then those are mountains. You might know if it's Colorado, isn't it? It's Arizona. I don't remember. I've been to those places. Okay. All right. Find your block. Grab a glass, a drink of water if you need it. Find your yoga block. Fantastic. All right. You're ready to come down. Just like a snake. You want your block near you. So you can find it later. We'll come down like a snake in the grass. So come all the way down to your belly for a moment. Boop. All right. Yeah, right. Bring your legs long behind you. Bring your arms down by the side. Just gonna warm up your spine a little bit. This is just purely to prepare you for some back bending. Right, so hands can come down by the side. Good. And then inhale, start to curl the heart up. Reach the sternum forward. The head is in line with the spine here. Gaze is slightly forward through the tops of the eyebrows, and then feel free to float those legs up, meaning those arms come up by the side. Direct your feet back and space, reach the heart forward. You guys say it, I hear my dog. It's like I did say that. I did the vocabulary. It's like, by the way, I know, sharp. It is very hard, right? Right, and then lower down. If you haven't already, lower down. Good job. So some of you might have longer arms and also more flexible arms where you can match the hands together and hold the integrity of the shoulders together and on the back, right? I'm gonna use, you can use a t-shirt or a yoga strap. I think he wants back in already. Just gonna demo this. He does this all day. He's inside outside guy. So yeah, so you can mesh the hands in. We're gonna lift up one more time. Lift the sternum, the heart, float the legs back. Cups the arms either mesh together or use your strap. So fun. I do love my dog. It is raining. Here. Is it ready? Gonna be rainbows. Rainbows. No. We're so going to have rainbows here because it is raining. And you can see behind me how sunny it is. So that means it's a recipe for rainbows. So here we go. All right. Flip onto your back. Bring your block with you. Charlie's inside in case you were worried. And now the sun comes out again. You're probably like, it is not raining there. It is, the ground is wet outside. And I just toweled him off with it with the beach towel. He has his own beach towel. It's Paw Patrol, if you wanted to know. It's an old Paw Patrol. It's dogs. If you don't have children, you don't know what Paw Patrol is. All right, you're gonna find your yoga block. You're gonna bring it. This time I'm gonna bring it possibly between your inner thighs. If that doesn't feel good, if that feels too sensitive for any reason, you can go back to the shins, right? All right, we won't keep it here the whole time. It's just to help us to find that idea of like, what does it mean to hug your right leg to your left, right? And to squeeze to the middle part of ourselves to hold that power strength for us, right? What does that feel like? To find our power in our belly area. And the block helps us to find that right to left kind of hugging in. So we'll just have it for a moment, and you can even watch the first time we do this if you'd like. We already had a little demo, but you don't have to. But I know some of you do this one a lot. Satu Bandha Sarvasana. Sarvasana, sorry if I left out the R sound. You're gonna bring your elbows down, like action your arms. Take a nice deep breath and get really full with breath from your armpit to your hip. And then wiggle your shoulder blades together. And as I wiggle my shoulder blades together, it pronounces all the curves in my spine. And that's what you want. You want a beautiful curve in your cervical spine. You want the back of the head to lightly press down, right? Not too much, not TMJ too much, but like just that right amount of effort. Good. And let those inner thighs go in, back, and apart. We're going to come up just a little bit. We can continue to hug and hold that block there. Continue to roll the inner thighs in, back, and apart, and then lengthen the tail. And as you lengthen the tail and start to lift the hips up, hands may come by your side, or maybe you mesh your hands. I'm going to bring my block out. Maybe you mesh the hands underneath you. And my arms just don't do that. They never like doing that, even in my even in my 20s. They didn't like that because I have a shorter arms, right? And then you might do it though with your free will, with your free will and your long arms, and then slowly lower down. Oh, that's my yoga joke. And then your legs can go side to side for a counter. And then we have another one. We have another bridge. So if you're watching that round, join in. We'll do three. We'll do three. So we have, what's that, two-ish more if you watched. So we may have a bonus round in a big bridge. But I'm going to talk you through this one. If it helps, you can do those action hero arms. Setu Bandha Sarvasana. Always sounds like lasagna to me, this pose. All right, but it's Sarvasana, not lasagna. Inhale and surrender to the earth underneath you. And remember, you have the power to choose your own adventure, right? So you can stay here in bridge. You have a chance to do Urdhva. Big wheel, as I call it. Hug the extremities into the dome and the palate of the mouth, right? So that's where the back of the head, right? Where we taste all the flavors in the back of the mouth and the tongue.
and expand the pelvis laterally. So that was what the block was for. We have that moment where you just lift the fanny up a little bit and then you expand the pelvis as you draw those inner thighs in, back, and apart. The pelvis broadens. You're going to keep that broadening just enough, right? And then you lengthen the tailbone just enough as well. Good. And then from the palate of the mouth, this is where all the energy is pulling in. This is what is most weight bearing right now. And of course, you still press into your feet. You extend out. So you extend down and out through the ends of the knees and the shins, through the ends of the tailbone. The hamstrings lengthen forward in space. This is how the energy flows. And then slowly lower down. And we show wipe your legs. You're doing great. It's so fun. So fun. Bridge number 2 or number 3 for some of you. If you'd like to explore Urdhva with your hips wide, I can't remember if we did that 2 weeks ago. I know we did it a while ago. It's one of my favorite poses. So go ahead and take it up to Bandha if you'd like. Oh, my arms are so tight today. It's like, no. You ever feel that way? You're just like, no. I'm going to use some blocks. So this is how you can use blocks if you have to. You can totally never do those. My arms are super tight. I teach bar fitness as well. And twice a week on Mondays and Tuesdays. Because that's when they need me. And you're not supposed to lift back to back like that. My body's like mad at me. Anyway. So here we go. So if you're using, you can come down and rest. So we have 2 to 3-ish. I know we're going with the flow here. It's free will. You can rest. You can shavasana. But we have one last one. If you'd like to use the blocks, I showed you this about 2 weeks ago. The blocks are right here. The heel of the hand is right here. That bridge pose was that was what we're working on. This is just a bonus because we have free will if we'd like to go there today. With or without blocks. And then remember to breathe. So I'm super tight today. I'm gonna work on those later. But then once you've done that a few times, once you've done a few reps with your back bends, just kind of windshield wiper the legs. Good. And then bring your right knee in. Bring your left leg long. Supine twist. Right arm out to the side. Right knee goes out to the left. It's not just a gaze over your right shoulder. All the way back to center. Right knee goes long. Pull the left knee in. And then twist. I'm going to twist to the left, knees over the left shoulder. All these varied shapes today, right? We had a potpourri of everything. Many, many flavors. And then come back to center, or you can stay folded and then come up to a seat. Move into a seat. Good, good. Once you're upright, bring your feet out to the corners of your mat. Bring your right foot in to your left inner thigh. And I call this it's Janu Sirsasana, but like an easy tree as you're seated. And then fold and reach for your extended leg. Then one more full breath in. Full breath out. Inhale all the way up. switch sides. Now the sun's really coming out. Like, I don't believe you that it's raining there. It did. It rained. There were bright clouds, and now they're gone. The sun burned through them. Full forward. Full breath in. Full breath out. And inhale, come up. Nice job. You're gonna find it easy. Yeah, easy. So you're gonna do a little twist here. As you inhale, reach up, and this time you're gonna twist to your right. Perhaps the left hand might lightly touch your knee. Right hand comes behind you like a tripod. Inhale the center, reach up, root down to the earth. Twist, twist, gaze over the opposite shoulder. Just find a way to rinse it all out. Inhale the center, reach up. Exhale the twist, twist. Exhale, twist, twist. And you do that 3 times. I like the power of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. Unwind. Your shavasana of your choice. You can extend the legs out to the corners of your mat. And lie down. Bring the arms out by the side. It's really sunny where you are. You might have sunglasses on. I just going to do this class outside. I'm just going to take the computer outside. And then something made me come in. I actually I started taking everything out and I was like, no. So that was my own luck that I did not take the computer outside for it to get rained on. Right. So you can close your eyes or have your eyes softly open. You do the crocodile shavasana on your belly with one hand on top of the other. Just bringing yourself to, a nice place of relaxation that's best for you. Yoga is so great because it reminds us of our truth that we are the co-creator, right, in our lives. We have unlimited potential. That we have free will. We can choose our own adventure. So great. Means that you dream of dreams when you come home. Someday I'll wish upon a star. Wake up where the clouds are falling, where troubles melt like lemon drops. High above the chimney tops, that's where the fire. Oh, and take a few breaths here as you wiggle your fingers and your toes. And slowly start to deepen your breath as you wiggle. Roll the head right and left, wiggle fingers and toes a little more. And then bend at the knees. Bring your feet to the earth. Thank you, Earth. Thank you, life. Thank you, polarity, for all the lessons, even the ones that aren't like rainbows and unicorns, because then it makes me appreciate those rainbows even more. You can roll to a side, your favorite side. It might be your left side where your heart resides, the physical heart. And slowly at your own time, you may already be there. We're going to come up to a seated position and bring the hands together and palm to palm. About the same light within and all around. Namaste. Misty, thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Perhaps, maybe even in person. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep doing this. Bye bye.